I was not going to do one of these, but I couldn't resist because look at this. I had to share this. I had to share this beautiful experience with everyone, and I know that mental health doesn't really take a break, does it? So I know some people might need it to check in. I've been trying to check in here and there with comments and stuff, but to be honest, I've just been kind of disconnecting, enjoying beautiful Finland. I am in Lapland right now, so I know a lot of people here on the channel actually are from Finland. I know I have quite a few people here from Finland, so I'm excited. I'm close to you. I don't have any idea who is going to jump in because this is totally unprompted. Usually I do my streams on Fridays. I don't even know what day it is anymore, at least not at home. Actually, I know what day it is here. I don't know what day it is anymore. It's actually kind of glorious that I've just gotten lost in all of this. So check in, let me know where you are right now in your little corner of the world. Hi, Zach. Good morning. As always, I am not a mental health professional. I am a certified life coach, but anything we talk about regarding mental health is just my experiences, my opinions, or that of people I know, clients, et cetera, et cetera. So if you are in a mental health crisis, please reach out to a professional, but I'd be happy to ask any questions or answer any questions. Can ask questions too, but answer any questions that you guys have about mental health, have a little bit of a conversation. I am deliriously happy. I feel like it's been really great to disconnect from the world, disconnect from electronics, not have to feel like I'm tethered to my phone or my computer all the time. And I think that not just this vacation, but the last few weeks in general have really given me a new perspective and helped me through some of the struggles I was having with my relationship with screens and stuff. So that has been glorious. We have a Wisconsin. Oh my gosh, we have another person from Finland. Hello, Pekka. Is that how you say it? Hello. I've been butchering so many Finnish words and names and places, so I'm really sorry if that is not how you say it. But awesome. I'm practically your neighbor right now. We are in the same air. We are in the same zone. Florida, Canada. Good morning. Good morning. Another Florida. I love it. We are just all over the world, joining together here. Texas, beautiful. So how's everybody else doing this week? Like I said, my week started off kind of crazy. We've been planning this trip for a bit. I'm here with Aaron, my boyfriend, and we've been planning this trip for a bit. We get to the airport to fly out, like to fly from Phoenix, and they wouldn't let us board the plane. So we had issues from the get-go, and we kept having delays, and we kept having all sorts of problems. So by the time we got to this igloo, all I could think was, yeah, bitch, to the universe, because we made it and defied all odds. But it was just one thing after another. My luggage got lost. I might post a vlog about it because it was just so almost humorously bad. It was so bad that it was something that you would see in a sitcom where they're just really desperate for viewers. Oh, yes. I don't think anyone really likes the TSA, Zach. Aaron, no, you're not going to get me to try and pronounce that again. That's where we're staying. We're staying at these igloos up in Lapland. Yep, no, I'm not even going to try and say it again. I am terrible at a lot of foreign words, especially when it's words that just look like a bunch of random letters mushed together. I'm not experienced. I'm sorry. Yeah, it has to make a simple trip so difficult. It literally extended our trip by 2 days. It was so bad, and we got trapped for so long that we ended up having to push everything out 2 days, which then, creates the drama of having to rebook stuff. Talk about mental health issues. It was definitely extremely stressful, and I struggle with longer flights. That's something that is really a challenge to my anxiety. So by the time I got on this long flight, which we were originally supposed to go to Amsterdam, we ended up having a layover in Paris, which that was fun. But we ended up having a layover in Paris, so it was a little bit shorter. But by the time I got on this long flight, which was at night, which I also don't like because I can't sleep on planes, I'm exhausted, just completely and utterly mentally and physically exhausted, and having really challenging time with my anxiety on this plane. So it was definitely a time to reconnect to those skills that I had for sure. And I really tried my best. But by the time we were on the last part of our flights, because we had layovers and stuff, by the time we were on the last part of the flights, I was just about to scream. I'm surprised I didn't. And then, of course, we get to the hotel and there's issues with that too, getting inside. And I'm just, oh my gosh, just give me a bed, please, someone. But yes, Anthony, we did make it safe. I am here now. I've been here for a few days and it's just been absolutely glorious since getting here. It was just a very big challenge to get here, but absolutely worth it. I'm glad that we fought through all of the sludge. And like I said, yeah, bitch, to the universe. But yeah, Anthony says, glad you made it safe. My trip from Lancaster, Pennsylvania to Parsonsville, Maine went well. Quit my job and I'm staying in Maine. Needed a change. I'm saying that. And I know that it can be so fulfilling and enriching when you just go for it. And you may or may not have everything planned out. Let's be real. None of us really have it planned out, right? You may or may not have it planned out, but you just go for it. And my ex actually just quit his job not too long ago. And he had a really, really good, well-paying job. And a lot of people are judging him for it. And even though we're not besties or anything, I had a lot of respect for him because I said, you left this position that gave you familiarity to pursue what you really wanted to do. And I have a lot of respect for that. So even though I know we don't see eye to eye on everything, I have a lot of respect for that. And we had a little conversation. So that was really cool. Zach says, no kidding. We just had a trip this week, wife, I, and daughter. Planning and booking was difficult with my anxiety too. Is it just me, or is this something that's kind of happened recently? Is this something it wasn't always like that? I used to book trips all the time, and it was very easy to book the trip. Everything usually went pretty smoothly, and I swear, every time now that I go to do something, it's just end of days, there's always some problem with the plane. Everything gets delayed, then you have to move stuff. And I love to travel. I really do. But at this point, I'm just going, I don't want to do this again. I did want to say, I see a comment there about reactions. I will continue taking requests for reactions and stuff. Right now, I have a list. I'm going to be doing those in April. So any pledges, you can still make those pledges of $25 or more for reactions, and I will film that, but they will not be posted till April just because I had this. I have another little mini trip going on for my birthday that I'm very excited for. So I will be in and out and won't have as much time, but I did want to let everyone know that I will be getting to that. And as always, all of those pledges will go toward that big mental health project that I've been talking about, and also the bracelet project where I've just been distributing the bracelets that say my shadow doesn't control me, the little silicone bracelets, to individuals that are susceptible or currently self-harming. So that is where that is currently going if you use the super chat or super sticker feature. Or if you are not watching this live, if you do Patreon, PayPal, or any other way of making pledges and donations. So yes, I'm still taking those requests. I just won't be able to fulfill them until April. As long as you have fun and stay safe, yes. So after the stress died down, I realized it was worth it, and I've been having nothing but fun. Yet last night, because it was Chester Bennington's birthday, last night, just laid here and stared at the stars, stared at the sky, and listened to some Linkin Park, and went through that process. And I have something very exciting to share, and I'm not sure whether or not to share it now or share it later. I think I might share it later. I think I need to talk about it later. But yeah, just sitting here and reading, or sitting here and looking at the sky, or just walking around in the snow and not feeling like I have a million obligations, not looking around my house going, oh my God, I need to clean that, I need to do that, and I should just be productive right now, and I'm not productive. It's been glorious. Not feeling like that, not, like I said, feeling tethered to my phone. I barely look at anything. Maybe a couple times a day, I will check and make sure everything's okay with Bryce to make sure that there's no calls or anything for that. But this is the first time in my life that I've been really totally disconnected, I think, like that, because my mom really indoctrinated to always stay by the phone. And now in the days of everyone doing that and it just being so normalized, it's been so hard for me to get away from that because it's normal, right? It's what everyone does. When you have 5 minutes, you just sit on your phone and scroll or do whatever. And it has been the best experience ever not doing that at this point. But my mom, because my dad was terminal, my mom, she was a general manager, and she fired someone over not answering the phone because she was afraid that it was my dad, it was her husband, and he was sick and needed her, and she wasn't there. So she was very adamant about, you always answer the phone. And that's another tape. That's another limiting belief that I have been working on breaking. Let me know if a reindeer, by the way, wanders behind us, because that has been happening out around here. Just be looking outside and there goes Rudolph or Comet or whatever. There's just reindeer wandering all over around this resort. It's pretty cool. I got to pet one on the nose very slightly. I went snowmobiling for the first time yesterday, so that was super fun. When I get back, I'll post some pictures in the community just so everyone can kind of see what I was up to. I love experiences. I really just love experiences. Wolfpack on tour, Kate Duncan's absolutely. And there's a husky farm on the other side of this resort. There's a husky farm where they do the sledding and stuff. And I've been going over there at night and freezing to death just to cuddle the huskies and loving on the huskies and stuff. But you'll just hear them howling through the day. So I guess the pack is welcoming me here. There's wolves here too. I haven't seen any of those, but there are wolves here, and we're right next to a wood. So thinking about maybe going owl hunting tonight, or seeing if I can spot a wolf, maybe if I wander out far enough. But I keep looking around because it's just so pretty. It's so quiet too, and that's been a big change, just the quiet, not hearing all of the noise pollution and the cars and the planes all the time and all of that. It's been a really phenomenal experience. And I just wish that everybody could do this and come detox from all of that junk on some level. I think everybody needs that. Amanda Beach Life, so not me, Amanda, but another Amanda. Hello, other Amanda. Says, I just had a staycation from my work because it was getting to me about my new boss. I absolutely understand that. I understand the need to just get away from work challenges or just stress, or sometimes change positions entirely. I've talked about this before, but when I was a caregiver, I loved the woman so much. I still went and visited her even after I quit, years after I quit. But it got to the point where the job was just draining me, and it was just draining the life force out of me, and I couldn't do it anymore. And I think it's really important to understand your limits and your boundaries and how to either find ways to bring joy to your job and find ways to be okay with that position, or leave it. And I was a single mom and had no idea what I was going to do, but I just said, I can't do this anymore. And there's been multiple points in my life where I've just gotten to the point of, I know this is going to be uncomfortable, and I know people are going to judge me for it, but I know what's best for me, and I can't do this anymore. And it's pretty empowering. I know that a lot of people will discourage the concept of mental health days, and I think that it should be mandatory that every company allow a certain amount of mental health days each year, just like sick days, because especially in America, we're taught to work ourselves to the ground, and that's not healthy. This whole grind attitude is just not healthy at all to perpetuate all the time. That if we're not being productive and we're not working ourselves to death, then we're not good enough. We're not working hard enough. That's insane to me. I remember the feeling like that, and I swear I will never go back to that. Tony says, go winter swimming. Avanto. Well, last night there's a sauna here, and I went to the sauna, and then I ran outside and just dove into the snow and was completely just in my chonies, dove into the snow. And then went back in the sauna, and I was talking to two French girls that were in the sauna that dared me to just put my jacket on. I had bra and panties, and they dared me to just put my jacket on and run all the way back to my igloo. I couldn't run because it was too slippery, but I did it, and I couldn't feel my feet, and my legs were cold, but it was such a cool experience because it was another actual opportunity to embrace being uncomfortable, to think, yeah, I'm really uncomfortable right now. My right foot keeps getting really cold. That's the only part of me that keeps getting cold. And thinking, okay, I'm uncomfortable right now. How can I get through this discomfort? And it was kind of a cool challenge, So I liked that. Lucky legend. Oh, thank you, Daniel. I love this hat. I haven't got to wear it because I live in Arizona where it's 1,000,000 degrees all the time. That's not true. It's fairly cool during our winters, but certainly not cold enough for snow hats. So thank you very much. Huskies are very beautiful dogs. I can see wolves from my porch once in a while, or a herd of deer. Oh, I just saw a grouping of deer running by before the sun came up a little bit ago. James says, oh, I'm so jealous. I've seen wolves in real life because I used to do a lot of charity work for wolf preservation and whatnot and conservation, but I've never seen one in nature. I've seen them in sanctuaries, but I've never seen a wolf in nature. But anyone who doesn't know, I believe the wolf is my spirit animal, even though I'm not really a believer in many things. I've believed that since my childhood. And when I was younger, I used to see and hear wolves that nobody else saw or heard. So that was very interesting. My parents believed me because they both had not religious but very spiritual beliefs, so they both believed me. And it wasn't till I got older and started believing that I was crazy because other people started telling me I was crazy that I stopped having those experiences. Cold outside, shorts weather. So yeah, I'm probably not going to stay for the whole hour, but I just wanted to check in with everyone, see how everyone else was doing, how everyone else's mental health is doing at the moment. I realize that it's probably really, really early in the States right now. So if you are up already, kudos to you. I am a get up every morning at 6 a.m. person, so I have adjusted to always being up very early, but kudos to you guys if you're up. I hope you're making the most of it. I hope that you are doing something that just lights you on fire, gets your vibes way up there. Oh, good morning, Stacy. How are you? I hope that you're hanging in. I hope that everything is going well. I've only seen them in Michael Jackson's Thriller. Was that a werewolf? I think it's a werewolf, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen that video in a very long time, but I think it's a werewolf. I love wolves, though. I really do. I don't think there are wolves. They're not really on that area. A few might be. You gotta be super, super, super lucky to find one there. You should come a bit more south for them. I have to go to Helsinki to fly back. So we're in Ivalo, we're in Lapland, and we have to go back to hell. As I said before, people told me my whole life to go to hell. I finally listened, but it was interesting. I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time there, but I'm hoping that on the way back, I'll at least get to go out a little bit and see something of the town. I always hate when you go to a town and you don't really get to experience it. It's very sad. It's very sad when you don't get to check things out. We have to fly back through Amsterdam, and I'm thinking to myself, if there's going to be issues, can you please just let me be stuck in Amsterdam? Because there's things there I really want to do. I don't have any particular desire to travel all the way there just for a trip to Amsterdam, but I'd really like to see the Anne Frank house. I'd really like to do some other things, which I'm sure you have to book that way in advance, probably, but I really would like to experience some of those things. So universe, if you're going to pull anything this time and screw up all of the reservations and the flights and everything, just let me have a night in Amsterdam. That's all I'm asking. It's not too much, right? Hello, Johnny. He says more or less next door. Yep, see, we're practically neighbors. I was told, Tony, that there are wolves here. But yeah, they're not a whole lot of them, and a lot of them wind up with the huskies, so that's kind of interesting. Just a husky wolf farm sounds like heaven to me, actually. I feel bad for the huskies, and there was one that was just circling, and I'm getting anxious because I just want to take you home. Obviously, you're displaying anxious symptoms, and I just want to take you home. But every night I've just been going over there and loving on all the huskies. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be, but what do you do, right? Good morning, Daniel. I think we have another Canadian here in the chat as well. I know, like I said, I didn't plan this, but I just couldn't resist jumping on before I run off to dinner. That has also been glorious. We sat there last night during dinner. By the way, it's interesting to note that I can eat bread in Europe. So I can eat bread that's not in the US. I am gluten intolerant when I'm back home, but if I come here, I don't have an issue digesting wheat and stuff. So I'm still allergic to all fish, and I'm still allergic to almonds, but I don't really have a problem with wheat and corn. Corn can still make me a little, but yeah, I just don't have a problem with wheat here. And for the most part, can process corn a lot easier. So it's quite interesting. I felt like when I got here, I kind of felt like Jack Skellington, that I'm going, what's this? Because it's been so long since I've seen actual snow, and it's several feet deep. I have stepped into it several times, into a part that was way deeper than I thought. My whole entire leg up above my knee goes into the snow, so it's quite deep here, but I definitely have the what's this going on in my head when I arrived, just because it's been so long. Yes, Johnny, it is a bit colder here than in Phoenix, definitely. Definitely. I know that Phoenix will be quite warm by the time I get back, and it's only going to get hotter. So I really like being able to experience this before the summer over there really kicks in. Plus, I've had fun beating up the snowmen that I find. If you watched my last vlog about the exposure therapy, you will understand why. And Aaron avenged my honor and caught one that I missed, ran him over with a snowmobile. So yeah, had fun beating up the snowmen out and about here in Lapland. So your snowman is not safe. Not with Amanda around. Right now I'm in Lapland, Johnny. So yes, and then we go back to Helsinki tomorrow and then go home the day after. So it's almost over, but it's been glorious. I'm just gonna go play in the snow. I was reading in the snow earlier. I just took my book outside and we got a little sled to bring our things over to the igloo. So I was just sitting on the sled with my feet propped up reading, and that was glorious. Philip, that's absolutely true. The bread is a lot less processed literally anywhere else. America doesn't have great standards for their foods. There's a lot of chemicals and additives and things like that. So it's very hard for me to go from this to that. The taste difference is huge because things in America are either really, really salty or really, really sweet. And things here are more accustomed to what I like. Like, I don't eat a whole lot of processed food. So when I taste food here, oh my God, this actually tastes like food. This is actual bread. I forgot what real bread tastes like. So it's absolutely, I think, an issue of the way we process it, the chemicals we put in it and stuff. It's rough. It's definitely rough to go back, and it just tastes so much better here. You know, it's so much better to be able to just have a dish of pasta or even just the bread with breakfast and enjoy it. That it doesn't taste like chemicals. It's not just half pound of salt poured on it. It's glorious. Philip says, glad I got up early from the States. Well, thank you. I'm glad that some people are either early enough to come in and join or are somewhere else in the world. Like I said, probably just going to stay on here for a few more minutes, but I did want to check in and say hi. Make sure that you guys got to enjoy at least a little piece of this. And like I said, I will post pictures over in the community once I get back. I've been trying to check in with comments here and there, but I will be I'll be looking at them more closely when I'm on my flight back. So I have a very long flight back. I'm hoping the Wi-Fi works this time so that I can catch up with you guys and see where you're at and what you think of the new vlog and the new reaction and stuff. So I'm excited. I'm excited to catch up on that on my flight back. You guys can help calm my nerves on that long flight. It's 8:14 in the additives, or AM. The additives this put in American foods cause many issues. Yep, I'm allergic to peppermint. I have learned it's in many things from toothpaste to lipsticks to even natural bug sprays. Yes. Yep, it sure is. But I've read that it's the overexposure to a lot of things like corn and wheat that's made so many people develop allergies to them, because we put corn syrup in so many things because it's a cheap sweetener. So we put it in so many things, or cornstarch or things like that. So more and more people are developing allergies to these things, to wheat, because like I said, we process it and we do so many things to it, and then we overexpose. That's pretty much all a lot of people eat is carbs. So it's the fact that we're overexposing, we're putting so many different additives in them that's causing allergy issues, it's causing digestive issues, it's causing all these different health concerns. And I believe in some cases, even things like cancer are coming, well, I don't believe, it's science, that things like cancer are coming from these practices. So I really wish that we would move forward as a society past that and get back to real food and real health. I have just started my spiritual journey, and I'm learning about the 7 grandfathers' teachings, and I have received a smudge kit as a gift with a hawk feather. That is really awesome. Daniel, you have to tell me more about that. I'm not really familiar with that particular spiritual journey. So I'd love to hear more. I don't know about the 7 grandfathers' teachings, but I always like to learn different beliefs and different ideas, so you'll have to share that. We're spoiled with very high quality and almost everything up here in the north, Johnny says. Yes. I remember going to Rome back in 2015, and it took me a long time to readjust to pasta because the pasta there is just so phenomenal, and the pizza is so phenomenal. I mean, like pizza. At the time, I wasn't vegan, so I was just eating regular pasta and pizza, but it was so phenomenal. And then when I went to Venice in 2016, with my best friend, we had hot chocolate. I swear, even if I could drink hot chocolate, I would never drink American hot chocolate again. It is disgusting. It is not even chocolate. It's just high fructose corn syrup with a bunch of sugar and weird stuff I can't pronounce, and it's gross. It's not even, and the milk that's in it is processed and full of chemicals and hormones, and just give me the Venetian hot chocolate if I have to have hot chocolate, please. Then again, I ended up having hot chocolate when I went to Czech as part of a trip I did to Germany, Poland, and Czech. And I ended up having hot chocolate there, and they literally just handed you a cup of melted chocolate. That was interesting because I was just drinking a chocolate bar, and that wasn't really my jive, but the chocolate still tasted better. So yes, I have to be careful with some foods because I'm allergic to nuts. Oh, I have been since I was 4 years old. Nuts is a hard one. Are you allergic to all nuts, Lee, or just certain nuts? Because I know some people that are allergic to very specific nuts. Mine's almonds. I'm only allergic to almonds. But yeah, it can be very difficult. Phillips says, makes one wonder about the differences in the soil between U.S. and other countries. Oh, our soil in the U.S. is it's probably growing some kind of weird mutant worms under the surface. It's the quality is awful. Like the things that are in the soil and the air and the water at this point, I don't even want to think about it. I think that it's going to cause a lot of long-term damage, even if we do change the practices. I think that we could curb a lot of it if we change the practices, but I think that a lot of damage has been done. We'd have to have some major shifts and really be determined to heal, the soil, to heal the water, to heal the earth. Oh gosh, being allergic to all nuts would be crazy to me. That would be awfully hard to avoid. And I know nut allergies tend to be one of the really sensitive ones too, where there can be nuts around you and you react to it. So I am sorry. I know that must be really challenging. I'm sorry. Food allergies are hard. I thought it would be hard to find food here to fit my lifestyle, but it hasn't been too bad. Obviously, like I said, I can eat gluten here, so that's not a problem. And they've been pretty good about having vegan options and stuff. So I'm pretty thrilled. Haven't had that issue. But if you guys want to put in any requests or anything, please do so. I will be checking off here in a couple of minutes. Like I said, I didn't plan on doing a whole stream, but figured I'd come in and just check in and make sure that everyone was okay in my absence. If you have been leaving a comment, or if you have reached out to me or emailed me, know that I will be back in a few days. I will be checking those and catching up and getting back to everyone. There are definitely some downsides, to doing things like this because I miss everyone and I don't want people to feel like I'm ignoring them. I'm definitely not. So I'm still here and I will be getting to you soon. Please know that I'm not ignoring you or anything. I just needed to come run away and have a romantic getaway. So I'm here. Maybe you should do a reaction video with typical Finnish foods and snacks. I should have thought of that. Because I tried Laka, I think it's called. I'm probably pronouncing that terribly wrong, but I tried that the other day. I'd never tried that. And I ended up getting some jam and stuff to take home so that I could let Bryson try that. What else have I tried? I've tried a couple types of bread that I think are native here, or that are made here. Not native. The bread that just grows on the tree over there. But I have had a couple of Finnish breads that are specialties here. How cold is it here? What was it, 9 degrees Celsius, something to that effect? 0. It's 0 degrees Celsius. maybe a degree or two. I think when I came in on the bus, it said it was a degree or 2 degrees Celsius. So it is quite chilly, but it's not too terrible, actually. I've been perfectly fine even when I was riding the snowmobile, just putting on some snow pants and a windbreaker and a sweater and hanging out. So I've been adapting. I've been acclimating quite well. But I'm glad that you guys all jumped in to say hi. Sorry I didn't announce it or anything, but thanks for coming and hanging out with me here. If there was a reindeer, I didn't see one, but maybe you guys can catch one, play Where's Waldo with a reindeer in the background. Like I said, there were, I think, 8 of them outside the window when we went to dinner last night. We're just sitting there eating, and all these reindeer just start hanging out outside the window and walking up and I guess looking for food and stuff, scavenging for food. So foraging, it was really a beautiful experience. And just watching the sun setting over the snow, and I've reconnected to a lot of those little beautiful things that we take for granted when we're just nosing our phone, you know. I'm mocking Aaron, who's behind me on his phone right now. No, but really, he's been great. I'm just being silly. But it's been wonderful just reconnecting to those things. I think that we're so quick now, and I've said this before, to not want to be bored, that we just pull out our phone and scroll random things instead of looking and finding the beauty around us. And that's what I've been reminded to do. So if you are late to the game, let me know what beauty is in your surrounding environment right now. Right now. Take a look. It's in a book. Just kidding. Take a look around you and let me know what you see that you didn't notice. Maybe you're at home right now and there's just something that you didn't notice and you think, wow, that's really pretty. That's really cool. I had that experience in my office right before I was doing the day in the life of vlog. I had this experience where I just had opened my curtain and the screen was shimmering with this kind of gold color, and I just stared at it for a while. And now when I go in my office, I always make sure to open the curtain if it's at the right time of day and just enjoy the screen for a split second. So if you're here, you can let me know in the chat. If you're checking in later, let me know in the comments, what beautiful thing were you ignoring in your surrounding environment? Look around, let me know. Life, bark, bark. Trees. Johnny says it's great to see you in this environment. It is so funny. You say trees, Burab, and there was a tree not too far from me that I had been neglecting. And there is a yard of rose bushes. And this is one of my favorite stories, actually, because it was back when I was in that go, go, go all the time. Everything has to be scheduled. I have to be productive all day mindset. And Bryson had asked if we could go for a bike ride. And I had planned exactly this much time into my day in these different segments to be able to spend quality time with him. And I am on the bike ride. I'm thinking, okay, we have about this many minutes to go there and then this many minutes. And I'm planning out everything in my head. And I'm not enjoying anything at all because I'm so focused. And then this is what I'm going to do when I get back. And this is what I still need to do this afternoon. So I'm not there at all. And he stops his bike right in front of me. And I almost ran into him. And I'm frustrated and I'm annoyed. And I'm just freaking out because, oh my gosh, he's stopping and we need to get back. And this is throwing off my time schedule. And I keep my mouth shut and I stop my bike and I'm trying to breathe. And he is just staring off. And I look at what he's staring at. And there's just this yard that has all these different rose bushes of different colors, just all these different colors of roses. And I stopped and went, yeah, there's nothing at home. There's nothing on my phone. There's nothing on my computer that is worth giving up, throwing this moment right here in the trash. And he took my hand and we just stared at the roses for a while. And I ended up moving several other things that I needed to do just so I could spend more time with him that day. And that was a huge lesson. Like I said, it's one of my favorite stories to tell because I think we lose so many moments like that, either constantly being on our devices every time we have a moment to breathe, every time we have a moment of downtime, because we don't want to be bored or we don't want to be alone with our thoughts. And I know that feeling, but there's much healthier ways of going about it. Or we are trying so hard to constantly be productive. So check in with the environment. It's great for your mental health. It's great to just breathe, to just be bored sometimes, to let the thoughts come and go. Because if you try too hard to avoid them, they're gonna stack on you. But with that being said, I am going to head off to dinner here soon. So thank you guys for joining me. This has been really fun. I've never done a stream or anything in another country. So I was kind of excited about it. I was kind of excited that I got to take that step. So thank you for joining me. And I hope that everyone is doing great. Like I said, I will check in a couple of days. Mwah!